Trey?
Yeah, Trey.
Well, he came back to practice in our shoot-around this afternoon and said he's ready to go. And, when he's ready to go, you got to put him out on the floor because he's that kind of player. And I wanted to put him out on the floor early to see what we had. And if I felt he couldn't play, then I would have released him from the game at that time. But he showed that he could play, so we let him play. I didn't look at his minutes. That's still a little bit too many. I only wanted him to get 20 in this game because he hadn't been playing. But that's Trey. Trey is one of those type of people I call our energy people. He and DeAndre Brown, they can go. They're like the energy. What is it called? The Energized Bunny. They constantly move, and when he's out on the floor, you don't have to worry about him getting tired. The only thing you have to be concerned about is his knee.
You mentioned earlier about working with minutes for some of these guys, and all your starters except Trey went over 30.
Yeah, and that was one of the comments we made in the locker room at the end of it, and that was more so because of our other players didn't produce today. They really did not play well, and I was very disappointed in that. And that means the younger kids, they went out and each time they gave up 6-7 points in a matter of minutes, and I had to let them know that if they want to play out on that floor, they have to be more consistent. And I also let them know that I don't want these guys playing 30 minutes. Norris is the only one maybe can play 32 minutes I would like on that floor. Aaron, I only want Aaron out there for 25, and he went 33. So, this is something we got to work and we got to continue to work on and get the minutes down because that's going to be very important at the end of this thing.
Charlie had a very solid game, but he picked up 4 fouls. Is that going to be a problem throughout the season?
No, not at all. I like what Charlie was doing. When you get fouls, sometimes that means you're playing hard. When you get a guy out there no fouls, that means he's not doing anything. So I didn't really feel bad about Charlie at all. I wanted the more he, I don't even mind him fouling out because that shows he's more aggressive. That's what I want him to do.
Coach, same thing we talked about Aaron. Because the 4, he comes up with a couple big possessions. He talked about the 3s, but the 2 possessions that he kept the possession alive with.
Diving and rebounding. Yeah, I thought he did a great job. Aaron was very active today, and you don't know how unique that is for Aaron because. If you go back a year ago, it was the opposite. And we would constantly tell him about that. And now Aaron has changed his whole mindset out there on the floor. He wants to work hard. He wants to be a part of the action out there. And if he continues to do that, our team is going to become very, very difficult to handle.
Like Coach, Cole showed a complete package today. His range shooting, driving to the lane, getting the rebound, getting an assist. Running the floor well. Is that what you're looking for your senior?
Well, that's who Cole is. In my estimation, he's the best guard in this league. And when he's playing at his level, no one else can be up at that level. The thing I had to tell him a little bit is, sometimes you're forcing the action and we're getting turnovers that unnecessarily. And he may not create the turnover, but he's putting sometimes people in position for that to happen, and that's what a point guard and leader must do, put everyone in the right positions. But he's learning, and this is, Norris is so cerebral out on the floor. Sometimes, he wants to take it even a step further. But if he continues to play at this level, we're going to be okay.
What did you think about Tim? He didn't really have a good game against Ballard Loss. I don't think he had a rebound. He had 5 rebounds today.
Well, you're really on Tim pretty hard. Well, Tim is, in my estimation, our steady player, and I don't really get caught up in his points. I really don't get caught up in it. I want him to go out and defend the best guy out there on the floor that's a forward, and I want him to work hard and get loose balls. You see, he got 3 steals. I feel good about Tim, and some people ask, why is he out there so long? Because he's doing the right things, and when you do the right things, good things happen.
What are you looking for in the quick turnaround?
Pardon?
What are you looking for in the quick turnaround?
Well, first thing
from this team.
Well, I'm looking for rest. These guys got to get some rest. I told them they got to get. We put it in order. One, they got to eat a good meal tonight, and that's why we have our training table tonight, as opposed to, just letting them leave and go get something else. They need to eat something good and put on their stomach. 2, they need to get some rest, and we're going to have a little shoot around tomorrow. Normally, we go pretty hard in our shoot around. But I'm only going to walk through some things and let them shoot the basketball. we're only gonna do it for about 45 minutes to an hour, because we gotta save their legs. And, this will be a tough game, tomorrow, because this is a running team. They like to run the floor, and, and I don't want them to wear our guys out running us to death.
Have they seen film on them? Have they prepped for them at all?
No. They'll see that tomorrow morning. They'll get that, after, right before our shoot around, we'll go over what they do, and we'll spend about half an hour in there getting an understanding who they are, and then we'll hit the floor and try to emulate some of the things that they do out there on the floor.
You encourage your guys to watch in situations like this where they're gonna play somebody. Do you encourage?
Oh
your
yeah,
guys to watch?
we want them. They've seen the whole first half of that team, and I don't mind that. I want them to feel the guys, and they went out and seen that, and then they go back into the locker room in the second half and get ready for the game. So they know what they're seeing. Sometimes coaches say, you don't want your players watching them because what's going on. It doesn't bother me at all because I still got to coach them. So, when that happens, they'll do what they have to do.
You mentioned yesterday that usually in a tournament like this, you have, maybe 2, sometimes 3, and this tournament probably 3 strong teams and then another team, and that Bryant was probably a little bit stronger than you anticipated. After having played them and looking at it, is that
Oh, that's true.
You think all 4 of them?
They're not going to be a 1-29 team this year. I'll tell you that. And they're going to win some games. They got to get to know each other. He's got to get to feel them out. And once those two things come together, I think they're going to be a hard team to handle in their league.
Yeah. I guess what I was asking about was just the toughness of the tournament.
Oh yeah. Well, right now around the country there are many tournaments going on, and most of them are I say controlled by the high majors. Okay, a high major will have a tournament site. You go to their site and you play. So when you talk about the lesser teams in the tournament, it's usually a mid-level team with a couple of high majors. This is a great tournament because it's all mid-major programs, and they're all pretty even. I mean, to some degree. And so when you go out there, you got to compete each night. When we first started the tournament, and we didn't know this, they just they designed the teams that should be in the tournament. When they set the names of the teams, we looked at Bryant's record being 29-1. We said, okay, we get a break the first game, but that didn't turn out that way. I mean, and I knew that after we started doing research on them. We found out he had 4 guys redshirt sitting, and they're ready to come out this year. And you've seen it. The point guard, Dobbs. I knew Dobbs from high school, and he did a great job out there today. He struggled with our pressure because he had 8 turnovers, but that's what a sophomore is going to do when the kind of pressure we put on. But as a game as a whole, I thought Dobbs did extremely well, and they shot the ball well. And so there's some things that he can take back and tell his guys in the locker room tonight and tomorrow when they start preparing for the next game, so they get ready for the next game. Because if they're only worried about winning and losing, they're not going to feel very good about themselves. What they need to do is find the positive aspects to move forward. And give honor to God first. That's first in my life. Secondly, that for the first outing, you got to accept what you get out there. There's some inconsistency in our play. Our defense at times broke down, especially in the press. I thought we did a better job defending them in the second half. But when you turn the ball over the way we did in the second half, I think we had 10 turnovers in the second half. They may have capitalized on 8 of them. Every time we turned it over, they either got a 3 or they capitalized on it. And I thought that was one of the keys in the second half from us not extending the lead a lot sooner. And we got to go back to the drawing board. And, these young men work pretty hard, so I'm not worried about that. We shot the ball again fairly well. We got 50%, which we've been 50% almost every game we play. So that tells something on the offensive end. But we got to do a better job on the defensive end. We let a team shoot 47% on us. That means we're not playing the defense we are capable of playing. The thing I do feel a little bit better about, at halftime, they were ahead of us rebounding, and we ended up taking the lead in the second half, which was good.
We'll start with questions for the players.
Aaron, you had a 4-point lead. They cut it down to 4. You had a couple big possessions offensive rebound, and the next time you got to the line, can you maybe expand on those couple possessions with 9 or 10 minutes to go?
That's when we had just came out of halftime, and I knew that we had to pick up the energy. So I knew that if I attacked the glass or made a bucket, and luckily it was an and one 3-point bucket, and I finished the free throw, so that just got the crowd into it, and I think we didn't look back after that.
Trey, how's the knee? And I didn't think you were going to play from what Waters said. You went out and had a fabulous game. Can you talk about that?
The knee is doing way better, you know, but right now I can't focus on that. I just get treatment, you know, go day by day. But like I said, this year is a new beginning. You know, I got enough experience under my belt, and this is only the first game. We'll look towards the next, so we'll be ready for that one.
Aaron, coach says you're one of the most improved players in practice. What has changed from this year from the last?
Most thing that changed is trying to get in shape, working harder. Coach tell me don't nobody work harder than none of us. Like on our team, we are the hardest working team. So it's just buying in, believing in yourself, believing in these guys that I'm with, and going out there and work hard and compete every day.
Did your fitness level help in staying out of foul trouble like you did tonight?
Actually, I believe I done got a little smarter. Like I could have made a few early fouls, but knowing that I had to be here for my team later in the game, I let some baskets go. So it's just getting more experience under your belt, knowing the game a little better.
Norris is in here too.
Any other questions for the guys?
Sleep.
Gentlemen, thank you. Thank you.